think, David, I think it's a good day. I think that we're technologically sound in launching our show.
You're a fool for saying that. We always say don't piss off the basketball gods. I'm telling you, don't piss off the tech gods.
I am. I just decided, I don't know, a couple of days ago, I'm just not superstitious. I just don't think it's a real thing.
Oh, I'm not superstitious at all either.
Yeah.
I'm just experienced. You fucking.
What you just said is the most superstitious thing you could possibly say.
It happens, man. I'm just ready for it. I'm a coach. I'm expecting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it, but every time I'm watching a game, every time, this isn't on occasion. Every time, if the team that I'm kind of pulling for, because I have a client on the team and they're up 6, I immediately think after the team I'm watching scores or doesn't score, if it's a 6-point game, I'm automatically assuming it's a 3-point game next time we get the ball. Yeah. In golf, you're always supposed to expect your opponent to make the putt, so it doesn't unnerve you when he does. That's how I coach.
So you're telling me that there are, 24-ish teams that if they're up 6 and don't score, the next thing that happens is the other team hits a 3 like 100% of the time?
Definitely not. But I just always have that mindset.
Oh, okay.
Now, when I'm on the court, I don't feel that way because I'm coaching.
Yeah.
But I'm just, what did someone say the other day? The hay is in the barn. I send my guys off. I talk to them right before the game. I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So I just have to watch. I can't do anything. Yeah. And so I just always assume that's going to happen. Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's like us interacting with technology, basically. You're just hay's in the barn.
I think something bad to happen.
You see, the hay's like not in the barn. The hay's like blown all over the village. Like that's how it goes. Yeah. Okay, so I prepared a document of topics, and you haven't read it, which is awesome because these are the things that I've watched. Some of the most exciting basketball I've ever seen in my life. These are the questions I have, and we're all going to learn together. The first thing I want to ask you about is, I don't know, did you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's post-game interview on the court after game 2?
I almost always. Oh, I did. I did watch it, but I normally watch it more intently. I think someone had called me after the game.
So he's talking to Ashley Shamati.
Yeah.
She said, "You all made a hard pivot defensively on Wemby. What kind of impact did Isaiah have tonight?"
He said, "Not much, I think."
And he said, "I'm not sure if it was good to be."
Yeah, that's right. Right.
And then she said, "Break that down for me." He's like, "Say again." She said, "Break that down for me. Why was his impact not good?" And then he's quiet for a long time. He's like, "It's all right. Nah, it was good. It was good. We want everyone to switch it up, give them different looks. That's what it's about when you play good players. You got to switch it up, make sure their rhythms are not the same. And we did that tonight." But that was like that's an unusual moment right there. I'm just wondering how you interpreted that.
I mean, Shai has Shai's running in vain with what we were just talking about. Like he's not celebrating anything. Right? He knows first of all, give your opponent nothing. So the last thing you want to do is give them anything that you're thinking. I think it was super smart. And I know going in, it was very obvious too, watching it, but I spoke to some Thunder people for the game. They try to get more big bodies on Wemby. They did it. It wasn't just Isaiah. Chet guarded him later in the game some too.
Jalen Williams did a good job, which I think we should talk about more too.
Who?
Jalen, Jaylin Williams guarded him.
Strong guy, yeah.
Capably, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to give him bigger bodies. I think I even said this. They have to get into him anaerobically, not just aerobically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to a lot of people involved in the NBA. They're talking about running, and I said, you got to make them physically fight. The anaerobic part matters also. And he's playing a lot of minutes. So I think Shai mostly is just keep it simple, right? I think privately he'll say whatever he's going to say to Isaiah. He's not going to say that publicly.
It's so standard. If he just said Isaiah did a great job, it's so easy. But it was pointed and rare for this guy, the most loving teammate of all time, for this guy to say, like, I don't think it worked.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about Isaiah at all. I really don't. I think it was much more, don't give Wemby an inch. Don't acknowledge anything. Act like we haven't done enough. He's been that way. Listen, he was critical of himself also.
Yeah.
Which I love that about Shai. Yeah, I don't think it was about Isaiah. I didn't go back and watch that. I watched a lot of other stuff, and I watched some of the Cleveland Knicks stuff before we went on here. But I mean, Wemby still had a good game also, and so I think at the end of the day, they almost lost the game, and that's unnerving. The Thunder never were comfortable against the Pacers last year, and they've not been comfortable so far. This is a battle. This is a titanic battle.
So after game one, I was compelled to create more media than I've ever created about a game. I literally still think it might be the greatest basketball game I've ever seen in my life. And I know that you balked a little when I said that, but I
mean, I can't keep track of that stuff.
I can't either.
I just longer than you anyway.
Here's what I think. Here's what I would, and someone's gonna say, "Oh, already." I've said this to people, and they're like, "That's crazy." I was like, "Oh, this game 7, whatever," like all these different stuff. But here's what I would say is, I think that if I were to make videos of the, let's say, 15 biggest plays of crunch time and overtime of game one, and then anybody else pick this, we can do this. Like anybody listening to this, you take whatever game you think is the best game, and you take your 15. I bet that by the time we get to like, maybe your top one is better than my top one. But by the time we get to like number 5 or 6 or 7, I'm crushing you. Like this game just had, I mean, like Chet had a game-winning block that is a forgotten moment because it was so many other better things happened. I just felt like if you like big plays, this had just an endless supply of them. And in a way that I found, I've watched a lot of basketball, David, and like I was leaping off my couch a dozen times. It's just like my wife is funny. She'll be in the next room sometimes when I'm watching, and sometimes I'm working out, and I occasionally will be loud. Not often, but occasionally I'll be loud, and basically she was like, "What's happening in there?" like it was an event.
I was on the edge of my. I have like theater seats in my office. I was on the edge, so I know what you mean. I was really into it. You're normally not a prisoner of the moment, so I take you at your word at what you felt. But I also know your bias more than anyone on the planet. I probably know your basketball bias. You want me?
Bald guys? Is it bald guys?
No, definitely not.
Trailblazers?
No, that's
I'm out of guesses. Yeah.
You are very, very biased against super fast, athletic young guys. You're biased
in favor. Yeah.
Yeah. So this series features a lot of that.
Yeah. This sport that showcases athleticism when they're athletic. Yeah, I like that. I think everybody likes that. Yeah.
I'm not. There's no complaining from me.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we've also seen in both games a lot of great shot making, a lot of great defensive plays. These are two. I think I told you. I talked to someone this morning. It reminds me very much of the NBA Finals last year, where the teams just have a lot of guys that can make big plays, not just your stars. Lots of guys. People don't really know AJ Mitchell. They didn't really know Aaron Nesmith. Obi Toppin.
Case and Wallace. Yeah.
There was a Case and Wallace. There's a lot of that. It's not just the stars. I mean, Champagny. I mean, the guy people thought he would make the league 3 years ago, and he made big shots. So we have a lot of that. And I hope it continues. It helped, by the way, these teams have played a combined, 9 games? 17 games. 8 for the Thunder going into game 1. I think 9 for the Spurs. So they're not worn out the way, for example, like Cleveland was, which was the most important part of that series. They were dead, understandably so. They played 2 7-game series. These teams haven't done that. And they're young and athletic. So it's amazing to watch. And that's why the ratings are so good in part. It's a great watch.
Well, and to your point about just young, athletic, fresh players, which I am biased towards. So
am I.
But also that brings up this thing that is, I feel, underappreciated in what we're seeing. There are young athletic players in college. There are young athletic, fresh players in high school, right? I'm not watching that.
No.
Well, these are masters. And this is where actually, I don't know, maybe I'm too easily annoyed by the commentators, but I don't know if you heard, but Reggie Miller was celebrating Alex Caruso, but by calling him the master of chaos. And I was like, that's exactly wrong. There are a million players who want to do what Alex Caruso is doing, and nobody can do it because they're not precise enough. They don't read the game well enough, right? Like Alex Caruso isn't a master because he flies across the court and gets a hand on the ball. He's a master because he knows exactly when that's a good bet for his team, right? Which is the opposite of chaos. I mean, he makes it chaotic for the offense. I get it. Reggie Miller maybe knows all this better than I do. But to me, that all these young, Steph Castle, all these young players who make it feel so intense, and that seem so athletic. The reason they're able to play that way at this time of year isn't because they drank a lot of coffee, right? It isn't because they're like flying all over the place. It's because they're super good at their jobs and can do it really fast, right?
For sure. Also, we're seeing a sign of that with Steph Castle's turnovers.
Yeah. It's not perfect. It doesn't work everywhere.
But this is the point: is he's doing a lot right defensively. He's scoring too. The other guys aren't turning over as much, playing just as fast and physically and all that. And Steph is 21 years old. I mean, yes, he made the finals for UConn and won a championship, but guy's in his second year. You just have to go through this. You have to strike out before you get some hits. That's just it's part of the game. And so by the way, this is so valuable for the Spurs going forward. Whether win or lose the series, which they certainly could win the series, they're only going to get much better.
Yeah,
these young guys are going to just be so much more calm in the moment. What I love about playoff basketball is execution under that kind of pressure. I'm calling and texting all my young guys. I know I'm including college guys, and one of them is a high school senior trying out for Team USA. We'll find out if he makes it. Maybe he found out. I haven't heard yet. But for Team USA, like under 19, maybe, I don't really remember. I'm texting all these guys. You see why I stress ball handling so much. And then I texted my NBA guys another thing, which was when you're working out this summer, starting today, tomorrow, you have to be mindful of what you're witnessing. Put yourself in those moments. We all can. That's the reason why you're jumping up and down. I'm sitting on the edge of my theater seat. There's so much pressure. Mm-hmm. There's so much going into this. You can't do it, but you can try to manufacture that same feeling. And I always say, get out. It's funny how this is. I always tell players in the summer, get out of this gym and get into the playoffs in your mind when you're doing this stuff. And then in the playoffs, I tell them, get out of the playoff mentality. Think about when you're in your gym, right? At the end of the day, it's the same thing.
That's a trick. You're playing a trick.
Yeah. It's the same thing. We're trying to manage. We want to heighten that emotion, and then we want to manage it. Yeah. I was texting someone in one of the series about impulse control again. Just you have to have that impulse control. What you can't do is arms down because you're afraid the refs might call a foul. The offensive player wins. Yeah. You still have to get the hands up. Just don't go forward.
Yeah.
That's impulse control. You have to practice that mentality.
I remember just your point about how the playoffs are like, put yourself in this mindset. There was a play where I'm sure you remember this. Steph Castle was being guarded by Alex Caruso, and Chet was in the paint. And to me, I'm like, well, those are two all-world defenders, and you don't want to take them both on with the dribble, but you beat them both. And I just remember, like, this is how hard it is to score, right? And in the end, I'm like, great choice, Steph, But it's just like, sure enough, Alex Caruso is just a monster, and he gets by him, and then there's Chet waiting for him, and he scores around him. I'm just like, that's not a regular bucket, That's not what preseason looks like, but it is actually how you get it done at this level, this time of year.
It was I remember the play, super impressive, and just the level of effort these guys are giving. I think it's going to become more of a slog, Henry, as these minutes add up, and there's only just a day in between every single time. Yeah. Maybe before Game 7, I'm not sure, but the next 4, because I do think we're going at least 6.
No, I think it's every other day because they have between the 2 conference finals, they have a game every day,
and they're going to be all travel days after Game 3.
Yeah.
From then on, between Game 4 and Game 5, it's all travel from there. The day you're off.
Luckily, it's not so far from Oklahoma City to San Antonio.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So that's a really great point. Yeah. But still, you're not doing a lot of recovery on those days.
No.
You're doing some. Yeah, it's been.
Well, let's talk minutes. I did looked it up. Your request. This is the only part of the show that's remotely planned, everybody. So 2 games so far in the Western Conference Finals, and the minutes leaders they already gave away the punchline, but the leader in minutes is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 90. Then the next, hold on, I gotta remove my glasses. So Devin Vassell 88, Stephon Castle 87, Victor Wembanyama 86, Julian Champagnie 80, Dylan Harper 72. Those are all of the key Spurs have all played at least 72 minutes. And then we get back to the Thunder with like Chet Holmgren has played 68 minutes, AJ Mitchell 62, Alex Caruso 57, Casey Wallace 53. Those players are going to be fine, right? And then we get to the players that the Spurs haven't played very much. Keldon Johnson 48, Jalen Williams, who's apparently now injured, 45. Jared McCain 44. Isaiah Hartenstein's only played 40 minutes. Lou Dort's played 38. Carter Bryant, who seems like he's been out there a lot and been great. He's only played 24 minutes in the whole damn series. Jalen Williams of the Thunder, Jaylin, 20 minutes.
J-Dub,
I know,
is the all-star. J. Will is the kid from Arkansas, the big guy. Yeah.
I've learned that and I'm willing to use it, but I don't think most people know that. I don't think I'm communicating successfully. Luke Cornett has only played 20 goddamn minutes. Harrison Barnes 18, Isaiah Joe 10, Jordan McLaughlin 7, and Aaron Wiggins has only played 4 minutes. So the point though is, as this series wears on, man, the Spurs played a very, very steep price for their game 1 victory.
Which we talked about this morning, where De'Aaron Fox could solve. I mean, that's going to soak up 30-plus minutes a game, and he's really, really good. Especially in this series, he's really good because he can shoot, he can drive, he can pass, he can occupy the ball. He's a pressure release guy. He's a playmaker. I think the reason why these numbers are so staggered on the Spurs side is because they're missing a key player, and now Oklahoma City is missing one of theirs. Because I think someone told me yesterday, I think J-Dub's out for the series now.
Yeah, which
is a problem. But credit to Mark Daigneault nonetheless for making sure he hasn't overplayed his guys to this point outside of Shea. This will be interesting to follow because I do think these teams are going to be a little more. I mean, they're playing so hard now. I think we'll see more of a slog. It won't mean every single play is that way, but I think we'll see more of them. It's going to kind of get a little more crowded now, and just guys are a little fatigued a little bit.
I said something that I thought was like super original, but you said lots of people have said the same thing to you. But it struck me in game 1 that if De'Aaron Fox had played, the Spurs might not have won. And I say that because I felt like they won with just irrational defensive intensity, just not just competent defense, but Steph Castle and Harper and Julian Champagnie just everywhere. And you give up a little of that when you play. Not that he's a bad defender, but like De'Aaron Fox doesn't overwhelm you with defensive intensity like that. And you had some pretty good counters to my assertion, I thought.
I'm not being belligerent.
No, you're being competent.
I know you know that. So I think he's a good defensive player, and I think this is something we do all the time. Not you, we, and everyone watching, is we can brand guys. It's easy to brand guys, especially when they've been around a bit. And this is not the Sacramento Kings De'Aaron Fox. So he's not an elite defender. He's a good defender.
He's like 75th percentile, I think.
75th. And I think he's a fucking competitive dude. I actually am a huge Fox fan. And I remember talking to Corey Brewer about him when they were rookies together. He was a rookie when Corey was on Sacramento. And he's like, oh, this guy, I love him. I love him. And Corey's has a good eye for talent. I think he'll play even harder. I tell you what, if he plays game 3 and doesn't bring that defensive intensity, I'll be way more inclined to agree with you. Because if Darren, if you're playing, you got to bring it. But a lot of people have told me the same thing, and I disagree with all of them. Although I understand their point, I just think Fox would play that way. And Harper's amazing, but he is a rookie. Castle's amazing. He does have 19 turnovers in 2 games.
This was your killer point. Was like, okay. I mean, to me in my head, I'm like, okay, so De'Aaron Fox, I assume would play crazy hard, and would still not be as good as as
those guys are
Castle on D, right? So let's say he gives up 4 more buckets. It'll be something like that, right? Like, okay, will he have 4 fewer turnovers? Like, easy, like easy.
I think
Vassell, you're right. Sorry, Daisel, I didn't mention Vassell. Absolutely right. Vassell. No, I've now mentioned Vassell a lot, and Vassell.
I love him. Yeah, I love him.
Yep.
Yeah, I really, I think he leads the Spurs in minutes, right? I think that's what you said. Maybe Wemby, then Vassell.
That's a referencing. Yeah, that one. No, you're right. It was Vassell and then Castle and then Wemby.
Yeah. So, I had him ranked high when he first came out of Florida State. I love him. He's just a great team guy. He really is. I think that I think Fox is better than Castle and Harper. I really do. Mm-hmm. He is not the defender Castle is. He's probably about the same as Harper in the playoffs right now. But by the way, holy cow, is that good for San Antonio going forward? Because they can move Fox to someone who's really going to value him, and they'll be great. Like fucking OKC got rid of Josh Giddey, making a ton of money in Chicago. They didn't miss a beat. Mm-hmm. So, but for now, I think just based on these minutes things, and I don't know if Fox is coming back for Game 3. I've not seen that. They could really use another guard, in my opinion.
I've been, I think of a lot of NBA things through the lens of the Portland Trailblazers, and like who has really good players that we can steal. Never works out the way I want it to, but when the Spurs had too many guards, I was like, oh, let's get one of those young ones, right? Like let's. But now that they're not giving up either of those young ones.
No.
Not for nothing, No.
Not a chance. Yeah,
not a chance. Not a chance.
No, these guys are special.
They're special, and they're so young. It's just gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful for a long time. Okay, so Daniel's asking us a question about refereeing, which I also have on my list. Here's my take: is every time they show a replay, there's like four fouls on the replay. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, absolutely. I guess we could call that one, but what about all the like? They're like, oh, Isaiah Hartenstein was grabbing that guy's arm. Yeah, you know what? Like every big man's they're grabbing each other's arms almost every play in both conferences. Like I don't. It feels like the ones they call is 20% of the fouls, and it feels like selective enforcement the whole time to me. It's like, yeah, I guess, all right, call that. That's a foul. Everyone they call, it seems like it is a foul. But there's remember when I think Sam Merrill was called for a foul when he crashed in trying to get a rebound on a free throw.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you got a box. I'm like, come on, man. Sam Merrill's level of impact on that play was 30 times a minute. In the, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. Call that one. I agree. That's a foul. But like what we don't have is a reasonable way for players to know what's going to be a foul, nor do we have a reasonable construct to tell players they should not foul. Like that's not where we are. Like it's in this environment, it's smart to foul, knowing like Alex Caruso fouls all the time. And it's super smart because they only call this time of year, they're calling. What percentage do you think they're calling?
I don't know, but it also depends on the action. You still can't put your hands on a shooter.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with that. And honestly, I'm watching the games, and I'm really thinking, man, the refs are fucking up here. I think it's only happened once, and that was, I think it was the end of, was it Game 7 against not Game 7, might have been Game 6 that or Game 5 even when Cleveland won in Detroit, and they tackled a guy with a couple of seconds left. That I thought was bad. I know why they didn't call it. It seemed like just an unfortunate thing, but you probably should call it. But yeah, for the most part, I like that the game's very physical, but still very fast. I'd feel differently if we were dealing with the 90s, with 79, 76 with a minute to play in the fourth quarter. So I think the product, you first got me thinking about the product that we're producing years and years ago. I like our product very much right now.
Product is great.
I don't think you're wrong, because as somebody who deals with players all the time, they'd like to know, okay, what can I do? But they're not. I have a bunch of guys in the playoffs. They're not saying shit. We're just fucking playing. We're hooping.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying to not foul shooters, hands off shooters. Can't shove guys. Can't extend. Listen, they called a foul on Shea. Huge call when he popped Castle in the face. Mm-hmm. And Shea raised his hand right away. My bad. Like he knew he fucked up. Can't do that. Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah. I don't think there's a big problem with the calls they make, but I'm super confused about the calls they don't make.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that really bothers me is, when I was, David, I don't know. I don't want to brag, but I did play 8th grade basketball. So I'm pretty seasoned in this, but like, it was like our coach would sub us out and yell at us if you like touched an airborne player in a dangerous way, right? But the big man who's been beat in the conference finals is like 100%, sometimes two hands on like the airborne dude's like hip.
I hate that.
And it's just trying to like fuck him up, right? And like just trying to give him, and like they call it 1 out of 30, it feels like to me. Like, so that means it actually is smart. Like if you're Jared Allen tonight and you get beat, like you should put your hands on that guy because it does affect the shooter. And like that's a really weird way to go into the game. And then I guarantee they'll call it once in a blue moon, and then the commentators are like, "Oh, Jared Allen's got to know you can't do that." It's like, no, he has to know you can do that because they don't call it very often.
Yeah, there's an art to not extending.
Yeah.
So it's a shove, but it can't be too much. It's got to be a little bit. It's always existed, of course. And I tell them I don't want my players doing it because I don't want the N1. I think everything matters so much. And I'm not sure how much it helps as opposed to a really great contest. But your point is they're already beat.
Yeah.
So they're doing it from behind or the side a little bit. Yeah. I do want to protect shooters, of course.
My favorite, actually, I think the most profitable one is when the guy's like you're pushing him basically behind the backboard a little bit, like, you're coming from the middle and you just push him to the baseline.
I call it the Boozer bump, because I'm around longer for Carlos Boozer. We're about to see his son play,
of course,
next year for the NBA. But so just before the guy he's going up against would go to rebound, Boozer would bump him in towards the rim a little bit, which meant anything bouncing off the rim more than a few feet or even a few inches, Boozer would get. Yeah, the Boozer bump. Yeah. There's an art to that too.
Okay, so we do want to talk about the East, but one more West question for you is, they show a lot of highlights of Wemby's defense around the rim, and at least in the slow-mo highlights, it seems impossible for the offensive player. It's just like, it is amazing. It's absolutely amazing how he can be not in the perfect position, it seems, and then conventional elite offensive basketball fails anyway because he can just reach that far.
What's his wingspan? 8 feet?
1 million feet, I think. I think it's 1 million feet. But he's good at it. I mean, he's just the timing of the
right. So, but let's break that down.
Yeah.
So he has to at least be in some position to make the play. I mean, he really isn't. He isn't Mr. Stretchy Arms, right? He's only got.
I don't agree on that, but okay, yeah.
Right. So he's got to put himself in position to make a play. He knows where he has to go. That may seem, traditionally speaking, out of position. Not for him, it's not, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have some body control to what you're doing. He also does a great job of recognizing influencing can be enough. I don't always have to block it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get my arms up and ready and be in position to make them change the angle of their exit, coming off their finger pads, higher arc, flatter sometimes, get it off quicker. That matters too. So there's a lot of tall guys with long arms that don't play defense like this.
Absolutely true.
He has an amazing, you said it, timing, feel, understanding. He has been well coached for a long time. And it's same thing's happening. He's being coached well in San Antonio too.
It's hard to get him to jump too, which is like
he's improved a lot with that. He jumped a lot more as a rookie.
Yeah. But so I can't remember. I think there was a Caruso play where he kind of had him beat and then Wemby got his layup anyway. And I think in the second half. And it struck me, I'm like, okay, if he does jump and you're as Alex Caruso size, I almost wonder if you got to pass it.
I think number one, they should be faking more than they are. I think they're making it easier on Wemby. I think going into the game, it was very obvious they weren't afraid to challenge him, and they scored some against him, not a lot, but some. Caruso too was
Caruso
one.
did, yeah.
You got to challenge him, and but I think it should fake more because I do think, especially as he fatigues, he'll go for more.
Yeah.
I also think other guys, it takes real discipline to not converge to the ball when someone's driving to an important part. The Spurs, because they know Wemby's ability to protect the rim, have a structure built in. Soccer, I'm sure, is very similar, where they try to keep their shell, so they're staying home on shooters. But the natural instinct is to go to the ball to prevent those shots in the paint. By using fakes inside, which means you're playing off 2 feet, you're slowing down, pivot, fake, whatever, you'll spray out more to what guys that'll shoot. And you'll also maybe draw more fouls on Wemby. I think he had 4. I think Wemby had 4. Shea had 5. Mm-hmm. I think Wemby may have finished with 4. I think they'll do more of that going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you when you're talking to players, you talk about 2 feet a lot. Can you just give us a little discussion of that?
Yeah. So when you're playing off 1, the only real way you can disrupt a defender's timing is your pace. You can surge and go faster than they expect. You can decel. I call it a rondo, but we call it a decel. Rondo was the first guy that I remember that would slow down his steps into severely so because it threw off your timing that you try to go get him at the rim.
It's so cool to watch too. I love watching that.
Yeah. Now Nembhard's unbelievable. Andrew Nembhard's amazing at it. Now everyone kind of does what Nembhard did in the playoffs last couple of years. But when Rondo did it, you remember Tony Gaffney, my student, who was a great shot blocker in college in Europe. Not so much. He's in the NBA. He was in for a day or 2. But I remember him telling me during training camp, I just can't block Rondo's shot. I've got it timed up so well, coach. And then he just decels. So that's why I called it a Rondo. And so, but you're still limited off 1. There are some guys, we train this, where on the decel, they're also faking or fake shot, fake pass. But you're still limited because once you put that 3rd foot down, it's a travel. Even in the NBA, they'll call it something. Playing off 2, I have all my options. And I've got the 5 seconds. First thing I do with every young player in the NBA, one of the first things I do is when they don't play off 2, I'll ask them, how many times in your career have you been called for a 5-second count, meaning the ball was in your hands for 5 seconds? Because the rule is you have to dribble for 5 seconds when you first catch it. And then you can only dribble it. You can't just dribble it nowhere. In NBA, you can. In high school, you can't. Then you got to do something. In high school, you only have 5 seconds. They'll call it a delay a game, whatever they call it. And then once you pick it up, you have 5 more seconds. So you really have a lot of time. And I say, how many times once you pick up your dribble, have you been called for a 5-second count? The answer is always 0 or 1. Always, always, always. For 25 years, I've been asking this question. So when you pick up a dribble, you can fake and pivot for almost 5 seconds. Yeah. And probably in the NBA, you can do 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So you've got lots of different options.
It's like a quarter of a possession. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So slow down, get to 2, and I can fake and step through. I can fake and fade away. I can jump quickly and shoot. Brunson has what we call it the quick Brunson floater. He made one the other night off 2 feet, gone quick. He also missed one, but it was a great shot. I actually said the missed one is even quicker. Like you can do a lot of things off 2. So to me, everything's about contrast. Everything we teach is contrast. Make the defender guard more than one kind of speed and style. And now you can use fakes and get them the other way.
And then this matters, I think, very much in this series too, before we switch to the East. You're big on these Nash finishes, or like when you're in the lane.
Same hand, same foot.
Yeah, just all kinds of crazy different finishes, right?
Yeah, so we teach, exactly. We teach every type of finish. So just to contrast it, growing up, everything was on right hand, was left foot, right hand.
There's a string from your right elbow to your right knee, and they raise together, right? Like, I don't know.
So no, correct. So I didn't learn it that way, but you're always going opposite leg. That's why most right-hand players jump it up their left foot.
Which makes it super convenient for blocking.
Correct. You just time it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything you can do to disrupt timing. So we work on, I call them maxi speed drives now, because he's amazing. He's going incredibly fast downhill, and then he'll go right foot, right hand, left foot, left hand. Sometimes it's the other way too. He also has amazing body control to be able to finish when you're going 100 miles an hour to the basket.
Kyrie Irving too is just a wizard at this.
He's the best.
He's the best.
He's the best. Yeah. You just named the single best finisher that wasn't using athletic jumping to do it. The best of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, since we've tracked it all. Unreal control. But Maxi's faster and still makes it. Fox also is really good at it. He's so fast. And it's hard. So we practice that a lot. So I think in my gym, when I'm traveling around, I'll say, go faster and try to make it. You're under control. I want you to go out of control and miss. And now let's work on going out of control, and meaning speed-wise, and make. Right? And then, of course, we don't want to be out of control. But the point is, you're not out of control if you're going super fast and can still make the shot.
And if you practice it, you're not out of control. Yeah.
That's what you have to do. If you keep going real fast and missing, well, you're not in control. You got to slow down. Let's get better at doing it while we're going fast.
And this is the reason I'm bringing this up, is because people will talk about a good shot, bad shot. And, I think even when you and I first became friends, some layups were considered too spazzy by every coach, right? But then Nash started doing. Nash, this little not so jumpy guy in the lane, would score around everyone just by being super unpredictable. And I know you changed how you coached, and now Maxey and Kyrie have taken it to another level. But to me, like, the idea of a good attempt isn't, you're well balanced and everything's perfect. It's that you've practiced every crazy way to evade everyone, and you might need the craziest one of all to evade Wemby, which might make something that the commentators will be a little alarmed by into actually the right answer.
So listen, this is what I do. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but here's what I do. How do we define a good shot separate from time and score? That's a totally different thing. We can get to in Cleveland series. We can get to some bad shots they took late in the game. But if it's a shot you typically make in practice.
Yeah.
If it's not a shot you typically make in practice and you've done it a lot, it's not a good shot. I don't care what the time and score is, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? That's a whole separate variable that we consider. Yeah. But just to finish the Western Conference to this point, 1-1, this is what you get with Shea, because he can make everything.
Got them all.
He can make everything. Everything. As we say, if blackjack is forcing guys to hit on 16, which means you're trying to deal the 16, everything to Shea is an 11. He can double down on everything. And so you have to look at him differently. I don't let any of my players, in fact, I'll tell you, I have a very good young player. You know who it is. Well, I have many very good young players, but one in particular who wants to be like Shea. And I think he's got a chance to be. He's very different in some respects. So I just sent him all the 2-point shots Shea's made. Like, all right, do that every single fucking day, because those are good shots for him, not for you. You're a great shooter, but you're not this guy. You got to get better at it. Maybe he'll get it. Maybe he won't. It's hard to do. It's not easy to do this kind of stuff, right? Same as like Maxey, to me, is the best guy in the league right now, going downhill with speed and just throwing the ball in. So it's what we do. I would never have taught this 20 years ago. It's not balanced. He just is really good at it. Let's practice that. Yeah. And if I have 10 guys doing it, maybe 1 or 2 will be really fucking good. The ones that aren't, okay, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Just because you covet it, as you know, you have to own it to do it in the game.
Yeah, I love this. Like you're packing for a trip and you put it in your backpack, right? Like you go into the game with like this skill's in your backpack.
You can't pack what you liked in the window.
No.
You can't pack what you like online. You got to buy it. You got to own it. Right. And so that's what we do. That's what a good shot is. Separate from time score is, what do you typically make? Yeah. So conversely, make guys take shots they don't typically make. On defense, you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
The possession anyway.
This is my favorite thing about Dylan Harper, is that even though he just turned 20, he doesn't throw up crazy shit. He just doesn't. He is. I'll tell you about Dylan Harper. This is a guy. You'll hear people say, so-and-so's a professional scorer. I'm not really sure what that means. Of course they're professional. You're just a scorer. Yeah. They're in the pros. They're professional. Yeah. But I understand what they used to always say about Kevin Martin, professional scorer. Yeah, he's a fucking great scorer. Dylan Harper's been scoring his whole damn life. When you do what he does, you've been doing it forever. Yeah.
The mistake I made with our son, I let him go from averaging whatever in 5th grade, where he was really able to score against guys that weren't good players. I let him right away go to AAU. He's the smallest dude on the court. I fucked up. I should have let him continue to play rec ball also, score 30 in a game, a bunch.
See the ball go in a million different ways.
Right. Yeah. And just because he could, even though he was super small, he was super skilled. I messed up. And I he's not mad at me for it, I don't think. He won't make the same mistake when he has kids. Yeah. Dylan Harper's been doing this shit forever.
Yeah.
His dad's a pro. Dad's a long-time NBA player. He probably always had a good strength about him. He's not the most athletic dude, although he is athletic. It's not. Yeah. He ain't Steph Castle.
No one is. Yeah.
No one else. Right. No one else.
No, actually, I was saying he's a Bizarro Thompson twin. Right. Steph Castle's a Bizarro Thompson twin.
Oh yeah, he's unreal. Yeah. Bizarro because he can shoot. Right.
Yeah. Well, because he has different kryptonite. His kryptonite is turnovers, and their kryptonite is shooting.
Right now. Right.
Yeah.
All 3 are great.
Okay, so really, it's hard to leave the West, but before we do, who's going to win this series?
I mean, I would favor OKC. I'd like to know how AJ Mitchell is.
Yeah.
He didn't play the last couple of minutes of the game with a thigh cramp, it looked like.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'd like to know what Jalen Williams is doing. I have no idea what Harper's doing. I have no idea what Fox is doing. I mean, maybe you do. I don't. And I would lean towards the Thunder for the reasons why I lean towards them to begin with. Number one, they're playing less minutes. That's a good thing. And I just think having gone through this is going to help them more and more. I like how they recovered after game 1. And I don't think they played great yet. Remember, they didn't play great against Indiana, except for a couple games, the whole series, and still won with Tyrese went out. They might have lost it, but I still think there's some greatness left in them for this series. And I do favor either team a lot. I don't think it's a done deal that the Western champions are the champions, because I think New York's very interesting to me. But they almost lost game one. They are fallible.
Yeah, I value your opinion more than mine, but for the record, I think this is the NBA Finals, and I think the Thunder are going to win
it. I agree with you on both. I just don't think, we know injuries happen.
No, they do, for sure.
Yeah, so
and then I'll just take it back. It's all right. It'll be fine.
Right.
Who could have seen it coming?
I'm not betting on anything.
Yeah, I'm not betting. Please don't gamble. But here's why I don't think you should gamble, because you don't want to give your money to those bad people.
Yeah, great fucking call. Great call. Wow, it's such a good
also, that. Don't buy cocaine. Same reason. Don't want to give money to those bad people. Like, they're bad people. They're really bad. All right. So David, we in sports, well, all we like to do is argue. We just argue all the time. I don't know why we enjoy that so much. We have whole shows about arguing. It's just but there's a brief shining moment in the NBA right now where everyone agrees on one thing. There's only one thing that everybody knows, and everybody's on the same side, which is James Harden's terrible. And I think you're going to blow it up for us. Like, talk us through it. Tell everybody why they're wrong thinking James Harden's terrible right now.
I mean, it's a long list. I definitely thought he should have been taken out some. I thought he was just dead tired. Donovan was too, by the way. Donovan airballed an 11-foot shot. I wrote it down. Late in the game, last 2 minutes, airball 11-foot shot. They're up 3. So first of all, he leads the Cavs in plus minus.
This is that's a hard one. You asked me who led the league in plus minus, and I don't know. I said Max Strus based on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Strus minus 39.
So that's bad. Playoffs. You're saying that's bad. Yeah.
In the playoffs. So he leads.
They're tough 39 though. He was up against some real opponents. Anyways, right. I was wrong. What's Harden?
Plus 56.
And who's second on the team?
It was, I forget. It was might have been Dean Wade at maybe 30, so maybe 51. Yeah, I like Dean Wade. Good. Yeah. So first of all, but we can be fair. So Harden is not terrible, and I'll give you one piece of advice. I don't need to give it to you. Almost anyone talking publicly on TV or on the radio about these games don't really understand the game. They're just paid to talk about the game. There's a difference. I can listen to a lot of political people talking. I tend to want to listen to people that really actually do the research and understand. I can disagree with Ian Bremmer, but I know he's really studying what's going on. So let's just be critical of James Harden in the moment. He's plus 56.
It looked bad. It looked bad.
It did look bad, but I went and watched everything.
Yeah.
Brunson made some unbelievably tough shots. If that was Ausar Thompson guarding Brunson, nobody would be saying anything. Now, we can criticize Harden's 6 turnovers. I think we should. That's why I thought he should have come out of the game. I thought he was exhausted. And if he's not willing to attack and score, although he did make a huge second box shot
he did
late in the game that should have been a game winner, except the other team came down and scored. So turnovers are an issue. Brunson made some very, very hard shots. Harden blocked his shot with 7 to play, and I think, what were they up? They might have been up like they were double figures for sure. They had a 99% chance to win, obviously, in the game, up 20-something in the fourth quarter. They missed 4 free throws. Harden missed 1. Harden missed 2, and then Jared Allen missed 2 in a row, and that was really big. They were up 12 when Jared Allen missed 2 in a row. The reason why that matters is because human beings notice 10 points is like, oh, we're only down 10. If Harden makes if Jared Allen makes those 2 free throws, they're up 14. No matter what happens, they're still up double figures with the ball the next possession. Instead, it went to 10. They missed. Then it was at 7, and we saw the snowball pick up speed. Harden, he made some way worse defensive plays early in the game. That he was not bad late in the game. Brunson was incredible, and Harden was exhausted. You could argue Kenny should have put someone else in, which I argue that. You could argue that they should have doubled the way San Antonio was constantly doubling Shea. By the way, they lost game 2 and easily could have lost game 1 with doubling Shea. I don't know if it would have worked or not. I do think they should have done something differently. because Brunson is capable. Not many guys are. He's one of bagging together 3-4 amazing shots in a row. Brunson missed like an 11-foot floater. Harden and Strus miscommunicated a switchback, so nobody guarded Brunson. Strus chased him late in overtime, and he missed a shot. It wasn't perfect, but he made some really tough shots. It wasn't like he just blew by Harden and got a wide open layup. It wasn't true. It just wasn't true.
I think that as that was all falling apart for the Cavaliers, a few different thoughts were occurring to me. One was, the Knicks made what we had previously termed the pivot of the playoffs with running the whole offense through Cat. And then they, to their credit, that was one big pivot. And then they did a big pivot again. Am I right? I think Cat didn't touch the ball down the stretch even one time. Is that right?
Did he? When I watched it today again, and he definitely wasn't a factor late. But it's not like Brunson scored every time down or even shot every time. I watched all of Brunson's shots.
No, but the Knicks changed their offense.
No, they 100%. They went after Harden. Yeah, Mike Brown admitted it afterwards. Sure. But that's not all that they did. It was something they did more of, and it worked. But I thought it was very obvious to me that this, gravity is a very powerful force in the world of physics, right? In the laws of physics. To me, fatigue is the gravity of these games, and Cleveland was dead. Donovan looked exhausted getting back on defense. He didn't do anything late in the game either. They just looked exactly what you'd expect. Luckily, they were up as much as they were even to make it close, but they played 2 straight 7-game series,
and they weren't they have intense players. And this was my other thought. So one was hats off to the Knicks for actually really making a real strategic pivot, which is not so common with these stubborn NBA coaches, right? So they did it twice in the playoffs, worked twice. But then also, to me, the intense Cavs are like Jared Allen, who was in but tired. But it's really Max Strus and Dean Wade. And they were not in the game and I was blown away that they spent so long on the bench. And I think eventually Strus came in, but maybe not Wade, or maybe Wade came in very late, right? Yeah. Is that right? How do they get them on the floor more? Who do they sit? How do they make these lineups work?
I mean, listen, there were times where OKC sitting Shea. You gotta put them in. I mean, to me, anyone that's tired, you're out. You're not helping us when you're tired.
Yeah.
Mobley was. I mean, they just really, again, we understand why they were so tired.
Yeah.
It's amazing they were up as much as they were to begin with. They just beat Detroit, a 60-win team on the road, like a drum.
That game was Sunday, and this started Tuesday. Is that right?
Saturday, Monday? No,
Saturday, Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. Sunday, Tuesday, and it was back to back, one day off in between. They also beat Detroit Game 5, lost it on Game 6, won Detroit Game 7. Obviously, clearly should have won Game 1 in New York, and they probably will be dead today. We'll see how it goes. At least they have, at least not traveling. It wasn't that long of a trip to New York, Cleveland, New York. It's something. They didn't practice at all the day before the game, which is, I think that was smart by Kenny. And New York is really, really tough. Yeah. Very pragmatic, to your point on changing back to Brunson. I think that's why I would not just pick them to lose. If they were to win the series, which I think they'll win the series, I don't think it's a done deal because Brunson can go down. We've seen that before too. Mm-hmm. If they lose the series, if they win the series, they're likely going to lose to OKC or San Antonio, but I wouldn't say definitely. They've got multiple ways to beat you. And by the way, Shamet, Monster 3, Bridges, Hart obviously played his heart off. Brunson made a gigantic shot. They're a very capable team. They are a tough out. New York is a tough out
for sure.
And we're going to see at least one game where Cat probably plays great. I do think I'm seeing growth from Mobley. I don't even know what he did in the game, but I'm just seeing him grow into a fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And this guy has been DPOY already in his young career. I'm starting to see, and I'm glad to see it. I did have him ranked number 1 in that draft over Cade and Barnes, and I probably look stupid for that, but not wildly stupid. I didn't know if Cade would get. I mean, Cade is magnificent, but I think Mobley can be too. And there's lots of people talking. You may have heard this before, maybe even from me, about a Giannis for Mobley deal. And I asked a Milwaukee guy, and he's like, "Oh, I definitely would do that." I'm like, "Well, of course you would." Cleveland, because to me, no fucking way would I do Mobley for Giannis, unless you gave me a bunch of other. I want Ryan Rollins, like I want a lot of young guys from Milwaukee and lots of future picks. They're not going to get that because Giannis is the one coming over.
The Bucks don't even have picks to trade. They have like minimal picks to trade, so that's not how it's going to go. Yeah, no. The one thing. This is a really casual observation, but like it looked to me like when the game was very intense last year in the playoffs, Mobley looked stressed, pained, like he just looked like uncomfortable.
He looked meek to
me. But he looks cool.
Yeah.
Now he's like, we do this. We got this. Like
he is. I mean, first of all, I've never heard anyone say anything but absolutely glorious things about him.
Yeah.
Well raised, thoughtful, great teammate, all about the right things. I'm going back to guys I played with him at USC telling me that. And big men sometimes develop later. His offensive game is developed late. He also missed a shot. He missed a 13-footer. Oh, this is a big shot. So minute 30 left in the game. They're up 12. They're up. No, that's not right. He took a shot. I think they were up 3 or 5 with a minute and change left. A minute 30 to go. Minute 30 exactly. He took a shot with 14 on the shot clock. Contested 13-footer against Cat.
Mm-hmm.
That is. I like taking open shots with time left on the clock when you're up. Even if you're down, but if you're up, especially because I don't want you to be so afraid. And then
you're flowing game. You want the buckets to go in. You want things to keep moving. Yeah,
right. But a minute and a half, you could have got that to minute 15 when you shoot, or minute 17, 18, and still got a contested shot. Mm-hmm. So my rule would be don't take a contested shot with that much time left. Mm-hmm. Move it around a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And Cat's a big dude, 7 feet tall.
It's rather large, yeah.
But I like that Mobley had the courage to do it. It was kind of a floater. Wasn't a great shot for him. Cleveland really did not manage the game well. It wasn't just Harden's defense, that's for sure. They didn't manage the game well. They missed free throws. But again, when you're tired, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You're done. That's how you lose a gigantic lead. Mm-hmm. So the only question to ask is, what else could Kenny, you and me both love Kenny. And we're friends with Kenny. What could Kenny have done to not have him be so exhausted? The answer might be nothing, because you don't get that lead. This would be the argument if you play those other guys more. So instead of being up 20, now you're up only 4 or down 4 because you're playing other guys. I would have argued I still would rather do that. I'd rather keep my guys fresher for fourth quarters, knowing what we went through, and not be up as much. But it doesn't mean we're right, because they make a couple free throws and they win. They win the game in regulation.
But they're not giving it a chance, or they haven't. I bet they will as the series unfolds, for like, I don't know who it would be, Keon Ellis or someone, to have this like super spirited third quarter, right? Like these things can happen. And like, and meanwhile, you might have Donovan Mitchell growing stronger, like on the bench.
I agree. If I was to criticize Kenny, well, first of all, he had timeouts left in regulation. Mm-hmm. I would have used those for rest. I understand why you keep him. It turned out it didn't matter that you kept him. It mattered that you were so tired. The thing I most criticize, and this is not just Kenny, this is management, is I don't know the universe that Dennis Schroeder helps you win. He's minus 25, which is not the worst, because, Schroeder is minus 39. But not a winning player. I don't know how they won the last 2 series with him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's just not good. I'm not going to say any other way. He's not good. Every time he's in the game, I think parade time for the other team. Mm-hmm. And in this game, I had to look it up because I just remember thinking he was really bad in the game. You know what he was from the field that game?
No.
1 for 9.
Yeah, wow.
Now, again, bad players tend to shoot badly. He's bad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be surprised at that. My question is, why is he in? Mm-hmm. I don't think he does anything defensively. I think he's bad. I don't know why they picked him up. That was a mistake from management. And I don't know why Kenny's playing him. I'd rather play him with anybody else than Dennis Schroeder. Mm-hmm. And I have nothing against Dennis Schroeder, except for I think he's not any good.
Yeah, when I kind of reached for the name Keon Ellis because I'm not sure who it would be, but certainly
Porter or somebody.
Yeah,
young guys.
Yeah, and then they were playing Jalen Tyson a lot for a while. Like,
yep.
I don't know. Do you like him?
Yeah, I actually do. I like anyone that isn't named Dennis Schroeder. I can't say it another way. Yeah.
What do you like about Jan Tussin? Well, he's not named Dennis Schroeder. I like that about him.
But now it's hard to do it because now you're deep into round 3.
Yeah.
I think they should have played guys earlier in the playoffs and got them reps and comfortable. That's what I think.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing that I want to cover is, oh man, there was just a moment where Dylan Harper was going in the locker room and Mike Tirico was like, "It feels like a heavyweight fight." And it seemed like to me, we have this league that has just done a terrible job of taking care of these bodies, right? And we're putting them through a meat grinder on national television and at that point, we're just sending people, Jalen Williams was already out maybe for the season, right? And now here goes Dylan Harper. And then later, AJ Mitchell's going to be grabbing his quad, and, it's just, to me, it's a tragedy. And because we're not using everything in my book about science, rest, etc., we're literally not giving them a day off just because I really think what's happening is, A, they don't want to give an opening for NBA fans to fall in love with some other TV show on these nights off. But B, World Cup is coming. And they got to cram everything in before the World Cup. And so, it's just these kind of selfish bottom line rated reasons that only benefit the billionaires. And for that, we're like, if it costs us a couple of Dylan Harpers, whatever, right? I think is really how the billionaires think. And I'm sorry to say it, but I've been in those meetings. So that's happening. And then Mike Tirico is treating it like it's a gift to the fans. Like, oh, we're watching a heavyweight fight. Like, no, we're watching fucking terrible planning. That's what we're watching, right? We're watching careless people chew up these bodies. I just looked it up. Go ahead.
No, you finish your thought because I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Well, it's just trying to. Okay, so this is not a full list, but in my 90 seconds of Googling, Jalen Williams of the Thunder is out. De'Aaron Fox is out. Dylan Harper, we'll see. AJ Mitchell, we'll see. OG has missed, hamstring strain during the semifinals. Anthony Edwards missed, I'm not sure how many games, a bunch.
He missed some, yeah.
Luka
missed some.
Yeah. Luka missed all of them. Dante DiVincenzo's towards Achilles. Ayo Dosunmu left with a calf injury. Jason Tatum missed game 7 because of his left knee. Austin Reeves missed games. Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, Kevin Durant. It's just, and there are more. I think I'm forgetting some. Did you just say somebody?
I'm sure there's more. Yeah.
The playoffs lemon going. Like we're just over halfway through for the team that's going to win the championship, right? Like we're not doing a good job of this.
So I see it this way: the foundation is broken because people get so caught up in players missing games in the regular season, and so. But if they play all those games, they're even more at risk to have something bad in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you wouldn't go into a business at the beginning saying, when the games matter most, let's make sure some of our top employees can't be available.
Yeah,
it makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
we should be re-engineering all of this. How do we deliver a good business, but one that maximizes our most talented guys?
Yeah, and
it matters most.
I'm done trying to argue like anything to do with morality or right and wrong.
For this,
even though I just did, it won't be persuasive to these people. But to me, it's like, you know how much Kevin Durant makes? Like his only chance to earn that back for you, the billionaires, is on national TV.
Yeah.
Right. And his only chance to do that in a big way is in the playoffs. And guess what? You fucked it up. You dumb shits. You made him play against Sacramento on Tuesday nights, like again and again and again. And now we just don't have him. Like what is he? He's one of the highest paid employees in the league, right? Like just off. He's just off. He'd like to play. He's an absolute gamer. He'd love to play, but you made him do all this dumb stuff that has no chance of paying your bills.
Did you see?
What a mistake.
Right. Did you see Harper? They showed him. He was in the locker room. He was coming out of the locker room.
To shoot his step. Yeah.
And then whenever trainer greeted him, Harper's head just went down. Like I'm so impressed with the character of De'Aaron Fox, who is on the bench doing his best. He's got to be sick to his. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Opportunity of a lifetime. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this guy's in the league a long time. He was a lottery pick. He's an amazing talent. He's always been great. In high school, he dreamed of the NBA playoffs. I'm telling you, Henry, I promise you, you know how often I talk to NBA players every day. It's so rare we talk about the money. It really is. Yeah. It's rare before they get it. It's rare after they get it.
Yeah.
They talk about the basketball.
Yeah.
The money, they don't. I talked to a player the other day who's very close to doing like a $150 million deal, right? For 5 years. I'm sorry, 130 million something for 5 years. I said, did you ever imagine this? And he said, no, they don't think that way.
Yeah.
Number one, they can't even imagine that kind of money anyway, most people. But they just love the game so much. De'Aaron Fox loves the game. He's showing it. You can see it. And he can't play. Like, we got to do something better than that.
It's not. Yeah. It's about, there's so many things that happen in a big game, but like part of what's so thrilling about it is it's this kind of a dream land, right? And the dream is performing now, right? Like that's the dream part, right? Is all the chips are on the table. And, you know, if you're Steph Castle, like you're like, I got to take on Alex Caruso and Chet Holmgren and I'm going to do it and succeed. And like, right. This is like that's what I imagined as a kid in the driveway. You know what I mean? It was just like stuff like this high, huge stake stuff like this. And they created it. Hats off to them for creating this huge stage. And now it's like, can we just get all the best players in it?
Right. I'll leave you with this on this subject. This is real. This is reality. We talked about reverse engineering. We talked about the goal going in. So I've been conducting meetings the last couple of weeks with the groups I have all over the country where they're working with players that are part of our program. Mm-hmm. So strength coaches, physios, the basketball coaches. I'm not in every gym. I'm not coaching virtually. I mean, I'm doing stuff, but I'm not there in person much. Mm-hmm. I bounce around. And so what have I told every one of them? First, our goal is to deliver them to training camp totally healthy and fit. Mm-hmm. That is where we begin. Mm-hmm. So everything we do, yes, we have to get them faster, stronger, better shooting, better skilled, all that stuff, right? But the goal is not to do any of that and then have them have some kind of soft tissue thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. We have to do then it's not us anymore. It's on the teams once we get them there. So whatever we have to do, we have to modify our ideal. They're not robots. These are human beings. We have to monitor that so that they go to camp totally fit, totally healthy. Mm-hmm. That's how we start this summer. Mm-hmm. I don't think our teams, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't think our league is focused the same way. We have to structure a schedule where we're starting the playoffs with our best players totally healthy. We don't have that. It's not built into the system.
So you're being a good custodian, right? You care about these players and you're basically hoping that they're going to have good, long-term, productive careers. Well, seasons and careers, right? And, you know, and P3, same thing, right? They're absolutely dedicated to these players and they'll, you know, they have their measurement. So like well, I guess right now they're finishing up all the dudes they had for pre-draft, right? And
they're done. Yeah, those guys are on workouts now. Yeah.
So up to the combine is 7 weeks, and like they pretty much, almost everybody has a great assessment after 7 weeks in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Right. They get all dialed in, and so what good custodial care, right? Now we're like, off you go, little bird, go fly, right? The problem is that practically 100%, maybe 100% of players who get this super detailed assessment before the NBA season, if you just go and play an NBA season, if you don't play, it's easier. But if you play, then like you come back a wreck. Yeah. Even if you're a super strong, fit, balanced, coordinated stud, like just playing for the year means that when you come back, your assessment is, whoa, you know, it's scary every time, even for super athletes. Even for Derrick Rose and Zach LaVine, all these guys, right? They come back with like, you know, so the chain of custody here on the caring for the bodies breaks in one identifiable place again and again and again and again, which is through, you know, we could argue if it's because they don't train enough in season, or is it because they're doing the wrong work, or is it because the schedule is just too intense? But like something about it is not good for these bodies, which is why we're watching these playoff games right now, watching everybody go off to the locker room one after another, because they get here beat up.
I completely agree. Yeah. They do everything they can in the off season, and then we rip it all to shreds during the season. There's got to be another way.
I think the only solution is for everyone to read my book. Is that right? Does that seem like it's called Ballistic? Available near you.
I recommend it to everybody.
So you know who's not watching our live video right now? I guess is Randy Shane, who's calling me right now.
Yes, we do this on Thursdays.
I don't know. Schedules are hard. But we did go. We did it, David. We're an hour and 5 minutes in. What else?
You wanted to talk to me off air. Do I need to call you now? You're going to talk to Randy.
Oh no, Randy's second fiddle right now. Yeah, he's.
Well, you can do it both if you want us both to be involved.
You're very kind. No, we'll work it out. But yeah, anything else you want to add in public?
Nope. Enjoy the games. It would be great.
Right.
Hopefully.
Super fun stuff. Thank you, everybody. We'll do it again next week.